Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for this video, we are doing a bit of a reading vlog, and I am reading two books that have been so hyped up. Everyone is talking about them and I'm thinking, are they really that good? Are they really worth all of that hype? So for this video, I'm going to be reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin and If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. Now, I'm sure you have heard of both of these books because I feel like everyone is talking about them. So yeah, I'm going to read them and I'm going to let you know what I think and if I think they are worth the hype, worth all the praise that they are getting. I'm going to start with this one. I have actually read a little bit of this so far. I started reading a couple days ago and I'm on page 150, and so far I am enjoying it. I find it so easy to read and the words just really flow. I also feel like this book is so good to read at the beginning of the year because it's super inspiring. It's about two best friends, what's their name? Sadie and Sam, and they have been friends since they were children. They sort of lose touch, but then when they go to college, they become friends again and they make this video game and they work so hard at it, working day and night, trying to get this video game done. And I feel like it gives you a real good sense of motivation for the beginning of the year. Like they're working so hard and it sort of makes you want to work hard as well. So at this point in the story, 150 pages in, they've built their first video game. And so I'm excited to see what happens in the rest of the story. So far, although when they were children they met in a hospital, so far it just feels like a nice light-hearted read. So I'm intrigued to see whether it's going to get a bit darker, a bit sadder. So yeah, I'm going to carry on reading this and hopefully have it done in the next couple of days because like I said, it is super easy to get through and to read. Gabrielle's writing is really easy to read and it flows really well. So I am really enjoying the writing style at the moment and I am enjoying the story too. I'll finish this off and report back to you what I think, and then I will start on this one, and I'm excited for this one because it is another dark academia, and like I've said so many times before, I loved The Secret History. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. But yeah, I'll finish this one first and let you know what I think. So it's a couple of days later now and I've just finished this book, so I'll let you know my thoughts on it. So I thought this book was great and definitely can see why people love it so much. I thought it was such a creative take on contemporary literature. I feel like not many books about gaming are very popular, so I really loved the fact that this book was so centered around gaming. I thought it was such a unique and exciting read because of that, and it flowed so well. I think Gabrielle's writing is so easy to read, it just flows, and I feel like because of that it was just such an enjoyable read and I flew through it really quickly because I found it super inspiring. It's about their sort of strive for greatness, and Sadie and Sam are making these games and they want it to be the best and they work so hard to make these games, and I found that super inspiring. However, I think one of the main themes of this book is talking about, can you have a really successful professional life and a really successful personal life? And I don't think those two go hand in hand, and this book talked quite a lot about that. This book was really sad, and before I read this book I did see that a lot of people cried at it, and I can completely see why they would. There was a moment in there that was just heartbreaking, and I think that moment, if you read it you know which moment I'm talking about. I think Gabrielle writes it so well and so beautifully that you just get so immersed in the story and get so immersed in how the characters are feeling at each given moment. I also loved how Gabrielle described all the games that Sam and Sadie, our main characters, are making. She really wrote like stories within the main story, and it just felt super creative and inspiring. Like she's got such a creative mind, and I loved hearing about the different stories of these different games that they make, and it really added to the story. So I loved that element a lot. So yeah, I love this book and I can completely see why so many people love it. I think I would give it a 4.5 stars out of 5. Really loved it, and now I'm so excited to dive into If We Were Villains afterwards because yeah, I love this book and now I trust everyone's opinion. So I'm about 250 pages into this book, and I think this book is about 450 pages, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I can definitely see why people say if you like The Secret History, then read this book. I would say this book is a bit more, I don't know, like hardcore when it comes to the academia. There is a lot of Shakespeare quoted in this book. It's about a group of theatre kids and they act out Shakespeare plays and they reference Shakespeare quite a lot when they just talk in their normal life. So yeah, there is quite a lot of that. I would say The Secret History is a bit more accessible. However, this one, I meant to do a check-in a bit earlier than this, but I found myself just flying through this. I've read it a lot quicker than I read The Secret History. And I don't know if that's because I found the plot more engaging. I'm not sure that that is the case, but I thought this one would take me maybe a bit longer to read just because of all the Shakespeare references in it. But no, I've really enjoyed it so far. It's really grabbed me. Like I said, it's about a group of friends who are all theatre kids and there is a murder and the person murdered is one of the kids in the class. So at the minute, I don't really know what's happened. I feel like it's a bit of an unreliable narrator. I feel like something's going to come out later on that sort of reveals the truth, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I am really gripped. I feel like I don't know the characters as well as I did in Secret History. I'm intrigued to hear more about them and I hope we do get to dive more into their lives. There was 7 of them and now there's 6 of them after one of them is murdered. So I'm hoping to hear a bit more about their inner thoughts and feelings. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. I love the setting of the college. It's so cozy and the students, they live in like sort of this castle student accommodation. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it and I'm going to try and finish it today. So I will let you know my thoughts once I finish it. So last night I finished this book and I really enjoyed it. I can so see why so many people love this book. The references to Shakespeare throughout gave it quite a gothic feel, which I really enjoyed, and I can see why fellow readers would like that. The story really intrigued me throughout the whole book because obviously it is a murder, but you don't actually know what happened to the person murdered until right at the end of the story. Although I did guess it just after about halfway through this book, but I still felt like it was a really satisfying ending nonetheless. One of my favorite things about this book is that it was set out in like acts and scenes instead of chapters. And when the theatre students are acting out their plays, you can't really tell whether they're acting or whether they mean what they're saying. It sort of really merges the line. And I think that works so well because obviously with Shakespeare's plays, they're all very tragic. And so with the students acting out these Shakespeare plays and sort of merging that line between reality and acting, it really serves to add loads of tension and suspense and really shows the tension between all the characters after the murder. It was one of the most successful bits of this book and really helped it flow because their whole world is theatre and acting and Shakespeare. They talk in like Shakespeare quotes even in their everyday life, like they are all encompassed by this. So I think it works really well in this book. So overall, I would say this book is definitely worth the hype. I did give it a 4 stars out of 5, just because I would maybe like to hear a little bit more about the characters' lives, maybe. So I gave it a 4 stars, but I can definitely see why everyone loves this book. So in conclusion, are these books worth the hype? Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow as well. Are these books worth the hype? Definitely yes. I would say I would give them both a 4 stars. They were both really easy to read and really grabbed me. But like I said, in this one, I would just like to hear a little bit more about the characters' personal lives, their inner thoughts and feelings. But I understand there is like 6/7 main characters, so that can be quite hard to get to in this length of book. But I really enjoyed this one. And if you haven't read it and you like dark academia, 100% do read this book. Next on my list is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I still haven't got to that one yet and I'm so eager to read that. And then with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, again, I gave this a 4 stars. I loved this. I loved how it was centered around gaming. I thought that was so unusual and unique. I love the discussions around friendship in this book. I feel like on reflection, now I've thought about it, some of the conversations maybe felt a bit cringy, maybe when I think back to it, but I did really enjoy this book. So are these books worth the hype? Absolutely. And if you haven't read them, go and read them because they are popular for a reason. So I'm so glad that I have finally got round to reading these very hyped up books. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.